Hi everyone, my name is Bethany and you're watching This Opportune Life. So real quick, I want to talk about why I decided to become a stay-at-home mom. It's the main reason why I'm doing the blogging and hopefully the vlogging and all that social networking stuff, because when I was pregnant and when we first got married, I was going to YouTube, believe it or not, to find certain advice as far as, what kitchen items to start off with, or, date night ideas, or when I found out I was pregnant, how to do thousands of things with your baby. And I found that YouTube and mom-to-mom conversations online were a great resource for that. And so I want to be a part of that. But I want to do it from a conservative Christian worldview. There are lots and lots of different moms out there as far as how they're raising their family and whatnot, and it's awesome, but I want to personally gear my videos and my theme with a Christian conservative worldview. So with that being said, also real quick, being a stay-at-home mom, I have full respect for women who do work full-time. I know that some women choose to do it and some women have to. I was raised more traditional, and my family is being raised more traditional. And there's nothing wrong with working full-time. I do obviously have my own personal choice or idea of what should happen more often if it could, but this is all going to be about how we raise our family. And so without any more further ado, let's get started. So I have known since I was a child that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Maybe it started off because my mom was a stay-at-home mom and I saw her home all the time and I really enjoyed that, and that kind of became, oh, I really want to do that too. And then as I got older and started thinking, I was in middle school, high school, I started thinking about what I wanted to do when I got older. I have a really big pull towards the medical field, and I'm actually in school again, starting next semester. I'll start again to be a medical transcriptionist. But that is hopefully something I can do from home. I've always known that I wanted to be there for my kids instead of working outside of the home and not really doing the daycare thing. And so I've known really since forever. That's been my main thing, is I wanted to get married to a Christian young man, and then I wanted to raise a family. So I've really known that since. And that trumped everything else that I wanted to do. Musician, web design, medical field, whatever. That trumped everything since I was a kid. Secondly, one of the main reasons why I want to be a stay-at-home mom is that, biblically, the woman is more of the nurturing, emotional person of the relationship. And I think whether you call it stereotypical or not, some women don't like to say it like that, but generally speaking, the woman is more emotional and more nurturing. That's not always the case. My husband has a huge heart, and he's like a big walking piece of testosterone on one hand, but on the other hand, he's got this heart where he just serves. And, I think that's a wonderful mix, and you don't come across that too often, male or female. But in our home, he is the leader. He is the head of the home. And we just have found that, when you search through scripture, the wife is the one who stays at home. She works from the home. She prepares it. That's not to say that having a job outside the home, as I have had since we've had a son, is wrong by any means. But I think the Lord paints a very beautiful picture of the mother that does stay home with her family. And by no means do I think that women have to stay home with no work. I'm trying to do work on the sides, and I am going to school so that down the road I could be in the medical field. There's so many avenues right now for women to work. But like I said, the Lord paints a beautiful picture for women who do stay at home with their children. And those reasons being, I want to be there for my children and kind of monitor what they're seeing, what they're doing, who they're talking to. I don't want to hover. My parents weren't hoverers. I think they did a pretty cool job of being our business, but as we got older, they did separate and they let us kind of fall on our face sometimes and make mistakes, but they always had sound advice. And so that's kind of what I want to pass down to my kids is, especially when they're younger though, to be involved and really monitor things, because now, even if you upload this, even if you try to watch this YouTube video, there can potentially be ads for very inappropriate things. And, being a conservative Christian woman, it's really disheartening to know that, my husband is going to go on YouTube to look up sports, and there's junk, there's trashy women and all these just messed up things. And one day when my son gets older, he's going to have to face that and fight against it as well. And so I really want to be that person in my children's lifetime that is going to be there 24/7 to monitor and to help them sift out, until they're old enough to sift for themselves, what is and isn't appropriate, and to create this constant balance of a Christian environment. Because my husband works outside the home. He's gone many hours of the day, 8 hours and more. And I feel that if we were to put our child in daycare, and I were to work, I'm not there for a big portion of the day. Neither of us is. It's somebody else. And, while other women want to do that, that's fine, and, that's their choice, we prefer that I stay home and I be around our child and the willing children, so I can kind of monitor and just create an overall consistent Christian environment for our kids. The next thing is that my heart is not in the work world. That sounds like a cop-out. It really does, but I've never been somebody who wants a 9-to-5 job. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm lazy and I don't want to do that. I mean, I enjoy working outside the home, and not photography, not web design. I mean, like actual working at Walgreens or Maurice's or wherever else I worked, all those retail jobs. I do enjoy that, but sometimes it's hard for me, as someone who is so family oriented and kind of a homebody, honestly. It's hard for me to put my whole heart into working at some of those jobs that for me just seemed kind of pointless. Once we had our son, it was very difficult for me to kind of separate myself from that, because I just wanted to full-fledged be there for my child, like I said, creating that environment all the time and what have you. So the reason is schooling, obviously kind of going along with the whole having a better environment or protecting my children. I want to homeschool, and I don't want to do it strictly where we're just at home all the time. I want them to be in groups. I want them to be part of maybe a public school that has the opportunity for homeschooled kids to be a part of that. I did that when I was younger. My husband and his siblings did it when they were younger. The crazy thing is that when we were dating, and then again when we were engaged, Mark brought it up, and after we got married, he brought it up. The idea of homeschooling versus public schooling, and public schooling being parochial Christian or actual public school. And it was a battle. Like, that was one of our first really big confrontations of, pertaining to being married and having to make a big decision, the schooling of our children. And at first I was like, I don't want to homeschool. Like, I'm too dumb to do that. Like, I can't, I can't do certain subjects once they get to a certain age. And that is what he picked up on. He's like, well, once they get to a certain age, depending where we are, we can send them to a school, or we can have someone teach those particular studies that you have difficulty in, or whatever. And so as time went on, I prayed about it and I thought about it. Of course, we weren't planning on having kids for at least 5 years. And, the Lord just worked in my heart, and he basically told me, no, Bethany, as of right now, you guys are going to plan to do homeschool because of this, this, and this. And it basically came down to, I underestimate myself. I definitely don't give myself enough credit for the work that I've done with Jonathan. I easily beat myself up as a mom, and so I think every mom does that. So I underestimate how much I do know. I'm not dumb. I can teach children's, reading, writing, arithmetic. I can do that. I think I was just afraid that I would fail my child. And when we really sat down and actually kind of talked about curriculums and things that he did and things my parents did with me when I was younger, it's a great opportunity to teach your children in the home and give them a really good foundation for when they do go out into the world, whenever that is. Maybe it's 5th grade, maybe it's not till college, who knows. So, another reason why I want to be a stay-at-home mom is to protect my children in the education realm. Basically, these are the reasons why I choose to stay at home. And sometimes it's difficult. It works out in my favor, I guess, because I am a bit of a homebody. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be away from my children. I definitely love date night. I love going out and having time away from them. It's not like I can't separate myself at all. But I really see the beauty in a parent who is there while the other supports the home, and the parent who stays home is the one who takes care of it and prepares it and really just helps it flourish. And I think that's something that, while it is becoming a little trendy, and not necessarily trendy, I just think there's more avenue to talk about it with YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. I think there's a great mom-to-mom community, but I think there still is a lot of attacking on the conservative Christian home. There's a lot of, well, you're just lazy, and what do you do all day? We've all heard that question lately. And it is easy to just slack off and be lazy as a mom. It really is, because you're home, But that's something I want to talk about later. Ways that you can get yourself out of being lazy at home. Little things like getting dressed and not just staying in your PJs all day, which is so easy. But that's for another video. So anyways, these are just some of the reasons why I love being a stay-at-home mom, why I've chosen to do it. If you guys have any conversation or anything, if you want to talk about it, let me know. Comment below this video, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. And I hope that I encouraged you guys, those of you who are maybe a little uncomfortable with that decision, maybe you and your husband just started talking about it, or you've been doing it for a while and you're just kind of like, well, I don't really like doing it. It's one of the best jobs on the planet. We all have a mom, whether they're biological or adopted, alive or past, we've all had a mother. And some of us haven't had a mom who took care of us or was in the home. And so, it's really important to try to make that commitment to our children. And that's why I choose to stay at home with my son. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you like this video. Subscribe, like, comment, do all those wonderful things that can kind of get the word passed out. I will try to post videos once a week, so I hope you guys enjoy this one. For now, have a great night, morning, or afternoon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.